Hello everyone, I'm so glad you could join me here at Red Pine Quilt Shop in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. Today I want to show you how to make a quick and fun drawstring bag. Aren't they fun? This project is simple and doesn't take very long. I think once I made my first one, I was able to finish these in less than half an hour. It takes about 1/3 of a yard to a fat quarter of fabric. And you see I used jeans, I used some scraps that I had around home. And then this is the boxed bag template that I used. So this template is used for all of these different patterns. So you know I really like to have some versatility when I buy a ruler. And you can use all of these, make a lot of fun little projects. Let me show you how it works. We're going to cut out the square. The square will be the base once we've sewn it together. And you do exactly the same thing for the lining as for the outer part. I'm going to line it up on the 2-inch. And it has an extension so that your ruler can fit in and you cut the whole square out. So you would sew on the lining and the outer, this together. This is going to be half the width of your base. Sometimes that could be a little confusing to figure out. So here you see it's about 4 inches because it's half here and half there, and about 4 inches here. It's kind of nice to know how big the base is going to be. So that's the first part. You would repeat this for the 2 sides of the outer fabric and the lining. The other part that wasn't tricky, but it is a little sew down for the gap. And this is where you would be putting the strings or the ribbon through. This needs to be the same place that you're going to be sewing the casing. The first time I did this, I turned it and turned it again. It's basically 1/8 of a turn, 1/8 of a turn. And I sewed on the top. But I found later that if I sewed on the back side, I was able to get right on the edge. Probably would be worthwhile thinking about using a matching color, maybe use a zigzag stitch, any of those things. So that would be the casing for the outside. Another of the things we're going to be adding, here's my casing and the gap. I'm going to be putting a ribbon in. And this is a lifesaver, this bodkin. I'm going to put the end of the ribbon here and shut it down. It grips it quite tightly. Look at the flexibility. If you don't have one of these, I think you need one. So I'm just going to slide it in here and it comes out the other side. Pull it through and look how it can bend. I'm going to slide it in again. Maybe shouldn't have put it all the way through. Let me put it back. It really is simple, and then it pops out over here. Do you remember doing this with a safety pin and then you'd pull too hard and the whole thing would pull out on the other end and you'd have to start over? This bodkin is just a wonderful tool. Now you've noticed that these bags do have another drawstring that goes through the other way, so that when you pull it shut, it's like this. So basically, this is how you do it. Not very hard, especially if you have the tools that make it even simpler. Couple of things, you know that I really think that buying a ruler is an investment. You need to be able to use it in a lot of different ways, many different patterns here. And if you haven't seen or used the True Grips, I know I really like the rulers that have that little grip on the back side that catches onto the fabric. Well, you can add them yourself and put them on here. And again, as an investment, be sure you label this so that if you take it with you to a retreat, it's really easy to tell that it's yours. A couple of things I'd like to just throw out as ideas for you. Found fabric, this denim. Wouldn't this denim have been fun if I'd maybe embroidered on it, done a little applique, something like that? I'm always saving. Of course, we can use the ribbons or the braids, but what about a shoelace? Or what about, the cord from a hoodie? Leather or the thicker twine. These could all be really fun ways to tie up your drawstring bag. And these bags, I think they'd be really fun for party favors, for a children's birthday party, or maybe a little hostess gift, or they're just fun to have to wrap a gift and give it to somebody in. So this is what I was sharing with you today, some ways to make it your own and just have a lot of fun with the drawstring bag. Thanks for watching.